Hi, today I'm going to tell about religious control in our family. When I met my future husband, he was a moderate Muslim. He didn't drink alcohol, he didn't eat pork, he prayed just once or twice a day, and in our first year of, of the marriage during Ramadan, he fasted just several days. Later, he fasted most of the days. For me, it wasn't a problem not to eat pork, and it wasn't a problem not to drink alcohol. But after we got married, in the summer, my husband came back home one day and he told me that his friends and him decided to eat only halal meat. Before that day, it was just common meat, it wasn't halal meat. Um, and he told me that since today, there will no be any common meat in our house, in our apartment. It will be just halal meat. Actually, it's a common thing for my husband to discuss something with his friends before making decisions. He never discussed anything with me before he made the decision. So for me, it was the first rule in our family. When we moved to Canada, it turned out that gelatin is also haram or sin for Muslim people. So we started reading all ingredients on the packages of the desserts, looking for not only alcohol but for gelatin as well. I didn't feel a lot of pressure in terms of religion in Ukraine, but in Canada, the pressure became greater and greater in every area of my life. And religious pressure also became greater. I wasn't good enough in anything. As a wife, I wasn't good enough. As a mom for our children, I wasn't good enough. As a cook, I wasn't good enough. As a religious person, I wasn't good enough either. And at some point, I realized that I will never achieve I will never become that perfect image my husband created in his head. And I decided to tell him about this. It was in February 2024. I told my husband that I was tired to do my best. I was tired to be under pressure. I was tired to be under religious control, and I wanted to separate him. And my husband asked for the second chance. He told me that there will no there will be no pressure at all. And yes, there will no pressure on me in terms of religion. He switched from me to our children and mostly to our older daughter. My husband and my daughter were never big friends. They never talked too much, they never had common interests, but everything started to change in 2024. My daughter used to have Russian speaking friends. She used to have her own hobbies and interests. We read and discussed books with her. We played chess. We played other board games. At some point, she stopped being friends with Russian speaking girls. At this moment, she has only Pakistani friends, and one Canadian friend is just the exception. My daughter refused to read books with me. She told me that she would rather watch videos with my husband. So they started to watch religious videos every evening. My daughter refused to play chess just because playing chess is haram. She just found a religious article on the internet. Um, she, step by step, she stopped. She just started forgetting about her hobbies and interests. She started praying 5 times a day. My husband never did this before, but to create a perfect image of the perfect father for his daughter, he also started to pray 5 times a day. And even if he forgot to do this, my daughter reminded him about this. In March 2025, it was Ramadan, and it was the first Ramadan when my husband and my daughter fasted all days during Ramadan. And my daughter found some other religious articles on the internet, and it turned out that to read ingredients on the packages is not enough, because there is a list of good and bad companies, food companies for Muslim people. For example, Oreo is haram for Muslim people. M&M's, all colors are good except red color, just because they add something into uh, red color. I don't know what, but it's haram. I tried to explain to my daughter that it's more important to be a human than to follow all those rules. I try to talk with her as much as possible, but in our family, critical thinking worked only one way. And at some point, I understood that I was losing my daughter. And I realized that I just need to save her. Um, Tomorrow, I will tell you about my attitude towards religion. Thank you. Bye bye.